Experts call them World War I era aircraft and clay pigeons. Ukrainian drones are small, they're cheap and slow, but they deploy devastatingly accurate missile fire. So what is it exactly about these Ukrainian drones that makes them so successful against Russian targets? NBC News national security correspondent Ken Dilanian is joining us from Washington. He's been looking into this. Ken, so what is it about these drones that makes them so effective?
Well, Aaron, much like the Reaper and Predator drones that the U.S. military and the CIA fly, they can hover over a target and launch devastatingly accurate missile fire right on a Russian tank or armored vehicle or missile emplacement. And U.S. officials said that the Ukrainians have been using these to great effect against the Russians, and one expert has tracked at least 30 direct hits on Russian vehicles, including on the kinds of missile launchers that are, in theory, supposed to be able to shoot it down. And these are far cheaper than the American Reaper. In fact, the Reaper goes for about $30 million, and these drones, these Turkish-made drones, are about $1 million to $2 million apiece. They fire missiles. They've been an incredibly useful weapon for Ukrainian forces, Aaron.
So why haven't the Russians been able to target these drones? Why haven't they been able to shoot these drones down?
That's the big question, because when I talked to military experts before the invasion about this, they said, oh, the Russians will make quick work of this weapon system. They can jam it and they can shoot it down. But Russia has failed to establish air superiority, so they're not flying the kind of combat air patrols that they could use to shoot these things down. A U.S. official yesterday said that the Ukrainians have been flying them low to avoid a radar signature, but it's really a mystery. It's really a case where the experts have overestimated the competence of the Russian military, because they should be able to shoot these things down. They fly very slowly. They've been decisive in some regional conflicts, but against a modern military, they should not be this effective, Aaron.
And Ken, how is the U.S. or other countries helping Ukraine keep these drones in the air, to keep them flying?
So that's a great question. A U.S. official said yesterday they wanted to do that. They didn't say how. These drones are made by a Turkish company co-owned by the son-in-law of the Turkish president. Now, Turkey has said it's neutral in this conflict, right? But the Ukrainian defense minister did say a week or two ago that they had gotten an additional shipment of these drones. To the extent to which the U.S. can facilitate more shipments is an open question. And you know, Aaron, there are other drones, small armed drones that the U.S. has at its disposal and that Israel and other countries make that could be really useful to the Ukrainians. There hasn't been much talk about how to get those to the Ukrainians either. Perhaps there will be as this conflict goes forward.
All right, Ken Dilanian for us in Washington. Ken, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.